right, Sunday. Getting ready for another episode of Shop Talk here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, 50 floors above the street level, high atop Television Hill at the Clockworks campus in Mitchell, South Dakota. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast, just after 8 here in the Midwest. Man, we got a killer show coming up for you guys tonight. Hey, good to see everybody piling in. All our regulars waiting patiently. Ashley Woodford's in here with us. Charlie Wright, Martha Doss, Tiger Ward's in with us. Zambiker, Radar, watching through his phone. See that, Radar? You can figure out anything. Behind Rudy's Fairing here with us. Who was in first tonight? Zambiker. Evil Rick in the house. The old stereo. We're actually on time tonight. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. Hey, listen, man, we're getting ready to go live with Shop Talk. Just enough time for you to get a drink, kick back, relax, send out a message to your friends and neighbors so they know we're getting ready to go live in just a couple minutes here. Get ready for Shop Talk. What? Are you kidding me? Jay Souza in the house? What's up, man? DDB, always a good show. Awesome. Chris, you got to get the scoop on that 34 Ford found with a tree through it. All kind of good stuff tonight. Settle down. Take it easy. Heather's actually driving this crazy boat right now. So it looks like we're about 2 minutes out from starting this one. We actually had a couple hiccups that kept us from getting our chat thing up and running. I don't want to make sure I miss anything here. Steve Broyles, what's up from the D? I got a picture of a falcon in a tree, says Evil Rick. Don't know how that Ford got up there. So great guest tonight, man. We're super excited. We tried to get a hold of her just before she went on the great race, but now that she's fresh back, we're going to get the whole scoop. We're going to bring you guys along. We got some great tech. We got a feature bike. All the great stuff you imagine that we will have in an episode of Shop Talk. Getting ready here in the Clock campus in Mitchell, South Dakota. 50 floors above the street level through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Getting ready to go live with Shop Talk. And remember last week I gave you guys some homework. We're going to have some talk about motorcycle rallies moving all around the country and you know, just saying, not hating, just saying. But it's 53 seconds until we get done with the countdown. I think that's probably close enough to get this one out of the station and up onto the tracks. Let's go live with Shop Talk. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 o'clock here in Mitchell, South Dakota, and we're getting ready to go live with Shop Talk. I am your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine. So glad to be here another week with you and my crew. What's up, crew?
Howdy, howdy.
Hey.
Mark's with us. Oh, my God, we've done it 2 weeks in a row.
It's a miracle. Hallelujah.
It's not over yet. Shut up.
Hey,
Shit can go south fast.
listen, so many people piling in tonight. It's got to be because of our guest. It's definitely not because of us. But Dan Toce is here from Connecticut. Radar's already given the Hokahey yells. Jamie Roberts, Bucyrus, Missouri, in with us. Lots of people piling in, man.
Big
so
D's in the house.
Big D.
Johnny Ringo is in first tonight.
Johnny Ringo was.
Oh,
Right
Yep.
on.
all right.
So, again, I want to thank you guys for being patient. You know, funny thing about moving the entire studio 1,100 miles, I remembered where everything plugged in. I just didn't know where all the plugs went, apparently, and we had to figure some of that stuff out. But we got it. We got it rock and rolling. Fantastic new studio here at the not Compound. I keep wanting to say Compound. This is the Clock Campus.
There you go.
But this whole shit show brought to you by the good folks over at Dennis Kirk.
I can't believe they've let us do this 280 times tonight.
280
280 times
Jesus.
tonight. I keep
Jesus.
waiting for them to lock the door.
So lots of good stuff going on. We're back in the shop building a Twisted T-bike for this year's giveaway. It is going to be the FXRTea. See that? See how she did that? And if you guys have been following along, we're actually doing some fiberglass work. Yeah, we got bored with metal. Choppers are old news. We're moving on to fiberglass.
You speak for yourself. You shut up.
Professional monkey. Howdy, you bunch of degenerates.
Oh,
So you can see here
choppers for life.
what we actually did was make a little allowance for shocks so that we can mount the bags really tight. And we're now fiberglassing that new chamber in that'll let the shocks fall
I
inside the
know.
bags.
Suspension Technologies is hooking us up with some killer equipment for
Dude.
this bike.
Mike over at Suspension Technologies, and not just him. I mean, there's so many great products. Xavier at Providence hooked us up with a killer swing arm that him and Dan Toce came out with. Toce himself, you're going to see that tonight. Our new product is featured the exhaust system, the 2-into-1 pipe that Toce makes for FXR. So we're going to let you guys check that out. And,
We've got wheels coming in from Tony
SMT
Mayett
wheels,
over
Tony
at
May.
Ramjet.
Yep.
We've got some good stuff going on this sucker.
You guys getting all kinds of cool shit.
It's fancy.
Listen, this may be as high end as ever I've built a motorcycle.
Tell me
Like,
again why we're giving it away.
Because that's the gig, man.
That's dumb.
That's the gig.
Oh, man.
Dumb.
So Professional Monkey wants to know if we're building a canoe. Oh my God, we could build a canoe.
You could. You're halfway there.
Yeah, I say no.
Well, listen, there's a lake here.
There is. Yeah,
Lake
Lake
Mitchell.
Mitchell is pretty awesome.
So we could
there's
build a
lakes
canoe.
here, there's rodeos, there's corn and cows. What more do you need?
Sum that whole place up.
There's lots of corn.
That look.
Yeah, no mistake why there's a corn palace
so-
here.
Okay, I have to tell. We went to a local rodeo about an hour away yesterday, and the highlight of the night was Uncle Chris getting cargo.
Hey, I know you want to talk to me, but talking to the people
I
gets your
know.
microphone working.
Uncle Chris got cargo, his first experience mutton busting. And he
boy.
came off that sheep and he comes over and he says, he looks at me and he goes, I hit my thunder.
And dude, so listen, me and a couple of the guys from Clock actually take him over to do this thing. So the whole family is in the bleachers, and he comes off of that sheep, and you can see inside his little helmet, his eyes are spinning like this, and he goes, I hit my thunder, and all I can think is, oh my God, I've broke this child. Somebody trusted me with their child, and I've broken this child now, and I'm hoping that he's coming back around before we get back to the bleachers. But it was priceless. Like the whole way there, I'm psyching him up. I'm like, yeah, man, you're going to ride that sheep the whole way across here, man. You're my dude. And he's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going to win.
It was the highlight of the night for everybody. It was awesome. It was so good.
No.
Anyway, I had to tell that story.
So just in case you wonder what you're missing out here, mutton busting.
Mm-hmm. Monkey,
Good
no.
talk. Good talk.
Monkey, no?
No, monkey. I mean, a porn palace would be better.
Oh, my God.
So we've
Yes, it
driven
would.
by the Congo Club. I'm not sure it's better.
Did someone say that? Did someone
Monkey
actually?
said that.
But did he quote the Congo Club?
No, I did.
Oh, I thought maybe he knew.
He
So
might.
there is a gentleman's establishment here called the Congo Club. We haven't been yet, but Shelton recommends it. He actually refers to it as church. So we're gonna have to investigate. We'll get back to you guys. All right, listen, man. There is such a great show. I don't want to.
Wait.
What?
Is there do they wear burlap sacks or something? You gotta go now. I need some information.
When you come out, Mark, you guys can go.
We're going, all of us together.
Last time we were in a strip club, shit went down. That might not be a good idea.
Professional Monkey. I think my RV has a new name. The Congo Club.
Oh,
All
it's
right.
the porn palace.
So listen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is a thing that we do every Sunday at 9 p.m. To the best of our ability. We bring you some entertainment. We bring you all the information we can fit into 120 minutes of two-wheel bullshit. And we usually start the whole thing off with a program we call...
The news.
There you go.
ShopTalk World Report is
Now
brought
we're
to you by
back on
Law
track.
Track. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Track.
Oh, this show is going to hell in a handbasket. So first up in the news tonight from our own Cycle Source magazine, World Report, record-breaking attendance at the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride 2024. 113,000 riders took part in 959 rides across 105 countries in the 2024 Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. 16,934 riders, 215 rides in the United States and Canada, raising $3.05 million. So
Right on.
That's amazing.
totally badass. This is, every year when we bring up news about the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, we have to remind everybody this is a near and dear subject to Heather's heart. So whenever they do good, we like to give it any space we can because it's
Absolutely.
important. And Heather, why is that?
Well, all of the funds they raise goes towards prostate cancer research and men's mental health awareness, both of which are extremely overlooked and very treatable. Prostate cancer is the number one leading cancer among men, but it's also the number one treatable cancer.
Yep. Yeah, and
Move.
and unfortunately, that was a rough part for Heather for her life. It was a disease that took her father, she loves very much, and you can see
And
it's still.
it's as simple as a blood test now.
Yep.
Go get checked. It's that easy.
All right, next up in the news, also from our own Cycle Source magazine, World Report, Motorcycle Missions. Paul Yaffe unveils custom performance bagger built by veterans. If you guys are not aware of this program, shame on you. This is a fantastic program that takes veterans who are struggling with post-war PTSD and various other things and refocuses that through motorcycle building and the camaraderie in the garage. And it's an absolutely killer program. Good on Paul Yaffe for getting involved in this killer motorcycle that they put together in a celebration of craftsmanship, camaraderie, and the spirit of transformation. Motorcycle Missions proudly unveil a fire-breathing custom performance bagger this Saturday at the Roadhouse in Cave Creek, Arizona. This unique project brought together 8 U.S. Marine and Army veterans under the expert guidance of the legendary Paul Yaffe and his team at Bagger Nation. So there they are, tuning that thing up at Trask. Nick Trask getting involved in that stuff. Quote from Motorcycle Missions: "We believe in the power of motorcycles to heal and transform." Oh, excuse me, said Paul Yaffe, founder of Bagger Nation. The build was more than just creating a bike. It was about giving back to the veterans who have given so much for us. How about me tonight? Like, I'm not worth shit reading the news. I'm gonna let you take over, Blondie.
Oh, jeepers. Me who doesn't have glasses on. Thanks. Where are we at?
Oh, come on. I won't throw you under the bus. This also in from Consumer Affairs. Nearly 50,000 Harley-Davidson Scorpion helmets recalled.
Oh, man!
That's a
NHTSA
super
test. Yeah, the helmets could come loose.
Okay.
Well, that's
Well,
What are they even talking about?
47,582 helmets because they may not stay securely fastened. So I'm assuming the chin strap comes undone, which at that point, what good is it? They have not figured out a resolution to it yet, but they are working on it. You can call the company directly.
recalled helmets include Scorpion EXO, Covert X, and Harley-Davidson XD-X07 helmets. Sizes extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X. Kiddo Sports said Wednesday.
Just duct tape. Why don't they just use duct tape?
So take your kiddo helmet back, Mark.
I'll just duct tape it right on my head.
This is some uplifting news for anyone heading out to is this Vintage Days? Yes. Jesus.
You are having so they announced the 2024
I'm having a
Hall
horrible
of
day
Fame.
with news. 5 influential motorcyclists to be inducted on October 10th during the AMA's Hall of Fame Days event in Pickering, Ohio. Following weeks of voting, the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame announced the 5 inductees who will be honored during the 2024 AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame induction ceremony October 10th in Pickering, Ohio. Motorcycle Hall of Fame class of 24 is Mike Lafferty, Debbie Matthews, Matt Mladen, right on, Rob Razor, and Kevin Windham. Two there that I'm really happy to see. Kevin Windham and Matt Mladen, both 2 racers that I've been a fan of for most of my life.
Nice.
Good to see them get in. That's killer.
Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
got to
I
see
think
them
you're
live
just
in, Mid-Ohio.
Yeah. Actually, Mark, if
There were
you
pictures of him.
if you remember, we had him on the cover of Trackside.
Trackside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do another magazine back in the day, the same time, like as if running one magazine wasn't bad enough. We did, hey, Nick Hildebrittle, leave my glasses out of this. So we used to do 2 magazines every 15 days.
I
we
couldn't
had a
even
deadline.
imagine.
It was
No.
nuts.
Nope.
nuts.
Hard pass. Hey Joey, how are you?
But we were younger then, and there were a lot of things that happened in the office we're not going to talk about today. So
I think
Well, you did say something about going to the strip club out there. You know what happens when we go to strip clubs? Magazines open up.
hey,
you are
Alan's-
never allowed there ever.
Alan's World says, cool. I loved watching Matt race. He was absolutely a tactician on the track, man. It was badass. And those were the days like Matt Mladen, Jake Zemke, Miguel Duhamel were all on the track at the same time, man. So when you went to an AMA Superbike race, it was so badass. Unfortunately, it was the same time where Harley Davidson decided to exit the world of AMA Superbike. So that was the bad side. Bobby Shackle, you're doing a hell of a job, Chris. Well, thank you. See?
Suck up.
Booyah!
He doesn't have any money.
Oh,
All right, man. Well, listen, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break here and look at a new product. And when we come back on the other side, if you guys are really good, kind of behave yourself, we're going to bring in our guest, Andrea Labarbara,
I'm so excited.
which she'd be right there right now in this picture. But when we come back, she's going to be. I promise you, we'll come back after this, and we got a lot of shop talk to get through. So don't get impatient.
Shake
don't
it
get
out.
crazy like
Shake
me.
it off. Shake it
I
off.
just can't do it tonight.
It's
Here's
because
the
you're
new
so
product.
excited.
I'm Chris. This is your product spotlight. Today's product spotlight comes to us from Toce Performance, some of my favorite in the Go Fast crowd. Dan Toce, putting out incredible products for years and years. He has dialed this particular effort in through a collaboration with his very own Joe Orsini. You guys remember Joe from the racetracks. This is the Perpetrator 2-in-1 Evo exhaust system, complete system, right in the box. We're going to tell you all about this after we get it unpacked. First thing to talk about here is the construction of the material. This is made with both 6061 T6 and 6063 aircraft grade aluminum, and 304 stainless. The stainless inside here, spiral wound baffle, and you can imagine this little guy right here is going to give you that signature Toce sound. Everything you need, one bag. Some of the best features about this, since these guys are building stuff, tiny mounts, you know, so you can keep this real tight. The design is neat, but it's all packed in a little space, so you don't have great big mounts holding on your exhaust system, and you know, it keeps it nice and tight and clean lines. So we dig that. Another great feature is this is 100% USA made right in Manchester, Connecticut, actually. CNC bending for all the pipes. They do all the welding in-house, the coating, everything happens right in Toce. So this is an outsourced piece of equipment to begin with, and it's people that are taking this stuff on the track. These actually come in a couple different configurations. With the canister, you can get this in black, as you see it here, or high polish. Same thing with the front, but different. You can get this in satin, like you see it here, or high polished also. Check them out today at toceperformance.com. You can get this whole system at right around $1,600. We're going to be putting this on our Twisted Tea FXRTea, and this pipe's going to make it badass.
The only thing standing between you and the open road is some garage time with the right parts and accessories to make your motorcycle roar. And that's why riders everywhere choose DennisKirk.com, the one stop you need to get your Harley back on the road. Our knowledgeable tech staff will help you navigate our more than 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories that are ready to ship today, with free shipping on all orders over $89. So tune up your ride and get ready for the next adventure. Ride more, wait less. Dennis Kirk.
Hey, I'm Ron Fleener,
All right.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, we dropped it.
Please Color Factory, you're watching Shop Talk.
Renamed them.
Hey man, getting ready for Sturgis. I wish I could tell you that I'm ready, but we're not. What is on its way is the FXRTea. If you don't know about this, Twisted Tea and Cycle Source Magazine is going at it again. We're building a incredible motorcycle that we're getting ready to drag out to Sturgis. We'll be on stage at the Buffalo Chip. We'll be all over town with it. Billy will be riding this thing, and this year's motorcycle is the FXRTea. You can see it behind me in its previous state of almost glory. We got some great parts coming in, man, from Toce Performance, Providence Cycle Works, Clockworks, obviously going with the clock, FXRP fairing, clock front fender. We got some of Tony May's wheels. Like, it's gonna be a bitchin' motorcycle, and I can't wait to tell you about the paint. We're gonna do a whole thing on that, and if you wanna watch this entire build, you can go over to Grease and Gears TV. That'll be up shortly after we do the unveiling at the Buffalo Chip. So until then, I'm gonna get back to work. You get on twistedtea.com and sign up to win this thing.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You're watching Shop Talk, and it rolls on.
So I'm not sure if I'm excited or if I want to punch Nick Hildebrittle in the face. for reminding me that we only have 59 days to get ready for a smoke out.
I know.
I'm kind of like 50-50, so.
Mark?
Well, the nice part about it is you're 5 minutes down the street.
So, hey, somebody on the chat reminded us to wish Gloria Tremotenstruck happy birthday.
She is 99.
99 years old
That's
today.
amazing.
How about it?
Nice.
Give it
Happy
up.
birthday, Gloria.
Happy birthday from all of us.
So cool.
Yes, sir. So lots going on. Smoke out. I can't even wait for smoke out. The garage builder thing is off the hook. Like,
Dude,
But-
every time I see that advertisement, I'm like, oh boy, it's coming.
like a runaway
that.
truck.
Oh, dude, I see that Randy setup, and all I can think of is bingo.
Oh, God.
Don't say bingo.
Don't say that.
Don't say bingo.
Nope. Hard pass.
No, but the thing it makes me think about is the fact that, like, all these years later, all the years that we did Big Mountain Run and all the events, like, we have Texas Hippie Coalition coming to that event, dude. That for me is like the pinnacle. After last year, Drowning Pool was so badass too. We were sitting, all through the winter thinking, how in the hell are we going to get something as cool as Drowning Pool? And
Well,
this
we
is
figured it out.
this is the next best thing. Like, if it was we were still able to get Pantera, it'd be pretty badass. But this is pretty close. So
There's a couple good bands.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying for Clutch, but our budget was short by like 100%.
Yeah, if the guys from Clutch happen to be watching, we really want you to play Smokeout, but we really aren't a stadium crowd, so I'm just saying.
Just saying.
All right, man. Hey, in the world of competitive racing, cross-country racing, motorcycle, or four wheels, there are a few events that are lifetime events, and one of those for sure is the Great Race. If you don't know about this, it is absolutely a bucket list for any motorhead, right? I mean, we started hearing about this when we were on doing the chase, and it sounds like something that I have to do. I've been lucky enough to do a couple things like the chase. I did the Hoka, but
We
this-
have to do I think we have to do the Great Race.
right.
That's definitely, especially after going through the pictures and everything, it just looks so rad.
So our guest tonight, Andrea Labarbara, is a competitor in so many things. I lose track, but she's definitely up there when it comes to everything with Cannonball and the chase. And when we started hearing about her competing in the Great Race, we wanted to have her on the show, and we just missed her by like a half a day. We were going to get her on right before she went on the Great Race this year, and
And if you pay attention, it looks like she'll race just about anything. drag race, it doesn't matter. If it's
yeah,
got
going
two
through
wheels,
her pictures, right?
Yep.
So we're going to get her on now and get the story straight from her. Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth. So have you caught up on your sleep, caught your breath? Are you ready to go again?
We're getting there.
Gee, I swear you're always going somewhere. So where do we even start with this?
Man, like I want to start like way back in the beginning. When did you first start riding a motorcycle, and what was your first motorcycle?
My first motorcycle, I was 8 years old. It's an MR50, and it's over my shoulder. I think it's out of the shop, but it's in the corner of the garage back
No,
there.
sir.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's we ride it around. COVID, Bob and I were doing MR50 races. We have two of them now. We got it a friend, but my original bike from 8 years old is one kickstart away from running down the street.
That's awesome. No, did your parents ride?
No, that's the funny thing. My mom was dead against motorcycles. My father wasn't a big fan. And my brother wanted a bike at about 13, and I don't know why he wanted one, because he never liked bikes. But when he got one, I said, well, I got to have one then. And I was the one that ran with him. And I think I won over my parents. They're big supporters. They surprised me on the Great Race. My aunt and uncle, my cousin and my nephew, they all surprised me at a lunch stop in New York.
Oh,
No
that's
kidding.
awesome.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked to come around the corner and see them. I'm not sure they got the gist of our lunch stops. Our lunch stops aren't real stops. They're kind of drive-throughs. And they said, so we could have lunch now. And I said, no, I got to keep going. So they drove about 2.5 hours upstate New York to see me for about 10 minutes. And
That was worth it, though. For you, I bet it was worth their drive.
It was certainly special for me, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where do you get your competitiveness from? Because for as long, and I haven't known you terribly long, but for as long as I've known you, you've been competing in something, whether it be the chase or the cannonball or the great race or.
That's probably high school sports. I was always an athlete, always competitive, always trying to do better, trying to be better. And it definitely, it's not slowing down. It's in me. I just want to always do a little bit better and be competitive.
So obviously this is true because Jason Souza says she's a local cornhole champion. I don't know if that's something we can talk about here.
I am not a good cornhole player, but it's by no fault of trying. I try. And I have my good nights. I think the last time we played, I think I had a good night. I think I walked off a winner and went home quick.
Nice. Now, as far as the great race goes, it can come down to seconds as far as where you place. Is that correct?
It's all about seconds. The difference with this race, with any other race that I've done, is every point is a second. So every day you have about 5 to 8 random checkpoints along your route. And for every second that you're off pace is a point. So the good guys, the top guys, are coming in 5-6 seconds off every day. And they're doing it consistently. And they have a navigator and a driver. There's 2 of them. So what we're doing is we're trying to get an ace. An ace is being right on time.
Okay.
And I managed to get 2 this run.
Nice.
So listen, take everybody.
You're right there.
Huh? That's your 2
That's
aces.
me right there, yeah.
So
that's 1. They give you 2 stickers for 1.
do me a favor and take everybody through, like, so they understand how this is set up. Like, explain to us the great race. Like, explain what this is.
Okay, so the great race is pre-1975 automobiles for the most part. There were 2 motorcycles. It was me and Lauren Hill from Fourth Coast Fours. We all have the same rules. There's a handicap for the year of your bike or car. Thank you, Bob. And we go staggered in 1 minute increments. So throughout the day, you don't see anybody. You're going through a series similar to the chase and the cannonball. You follow the directions, make a left here, make a right here. The difference is we're not allowed an odometer. The only thing we're allowed is a speedometer and a stopwatch and a clock. So we're following the directions, and you have to make up for your vehicle's acceleration, deceleration. They're doing it mathematically to the second, taking notes. I can't do that. When we're alone on the motorcycle, we're doing the math that we could do in our head, and then we're kind of going with a little bit of wing it.
Well, I would fail epically to have to
me
do
too.
math in my head. I'm done.
That sounds like a job. That's a job the whole way through.
Yeah.
Just like in the cannonball, you get your instructions 30 minutes before you go. So there's no time to really look over the route. Where I make quick notes on it, anything that's any emergencies for the day. That an emergency would be something that they changed last minute. I put that in my notes. I go through it all. I go through some easy math, the stop signs and stuff like that. I could change the numbers a little bit from my bike. And then I give the paperwork to Bob. He puts it in a scroller, which is, it's very similar to an Enduro that you're looking at it right there. Yep. That blue tape is my waterproofing. And it works. it works because if the water gets in there and it rips the paper in there, which is just standard 9.5 by 11 taped together sheets, I'm done. You can't, once you're seconds off, you're done. So and that was a rainy day because my Speedo's also waterproofed on that, which is just a plastic bag taped with painter's tape around it. Yeah. So that right there, yep. The speedometer is super precise. It's a speedometer. It's from TimeWise, and all the cars have them. They are very, very precise. They way more precise than a GPS because a GPS lags.
Okay.
This doesn't lag. It's right on.
Well, it even looks like up further on your handlebar, is that yellow thing a stopwatch too?
That's my stopwatch.
Yeah.
That's everything. Between the speedometer and the stopwatch, that's it. And right in between the two is a spot for a clock, but my magnet fell off on the last day and my clock went flying.
Oh no.
So I didn't have a clock. Which isn't as important as the speedo and the stopwatch.
So being
I question the undertaking of setting all this up and then how much you have to endure while you're riding. I mean, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, what's the route like?
Oh, the route is tricky. It's so similar to what you've done with the chase. John Kaysen does the route, and you get used to the way that he writes his directions, the signs that you look out for on the route. But the big difference is we don't have an odometer, so it's not like I could, when it says make a right at this sign, you don't know if that sign is in 30 seconds or 15 minutes. You don't know.
See?
You have to be on point and look at every sign as you're riding. There's no relax. There's no turning your mind off for a bit.
No, that's
You're
what
looking at every
that's
sign.
what the first year of the Hokkaido was like. I'm not sure how they do it now, but Hokkaido was just like that. You got directions that said turn left at Mush Mountain Road, and it was like, and the guys that did really well at it, actually they were military guys and they could work a map backwards. And once a guy taught me that, I was like, oh, okay.
I could look in my scroll at its best. I could look 3 steps ahead.
Oh goodness.
But if I was in between a page, I might only be able to see a step and a half a step. And then I could, if I had time, I could look ahead and then scroll back to where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, because you said you get instructions 30 minutes before, so there's no time, especially if it's a race of seconds. There's no time for you to do any comparisons to maps or anything like that.
No, you definitely don't have time to that. But the navigator and the driver, they're making notes. And even the first couple minutes that they drive, or the first couple hours, they could go back to their notes and make notes. I can't do that. Once Bob puts it in the box for me, there's the box that you showed. That's it. I can't get to it again. So I can't make notes or anything. I make notes on my blue painter's tape. But they're sometimes I'm riding and they're so scratchy that when I go back to even try to read it, I don't know what I wrote.
Wow, what a challenge. Like, aside from the physical challenge, but the mental challenge. I imagine there's no highway. It's probably all 2-lane roads, like country roads.
So the other thing you have to remember is this is a car event. God bless you. This is a car event. It's not designed for motorcycles. John Kaysen is thinking of cars. So there are times that he has us going from one area to another and hopping on a highway. So on that highway, the Indian it does 50 comfortably. It'll do 55. I could push it to 60 for a little bit. But once we go to the highway to do these transitions to go to the next area, cars are whizzing by me. So that means when they get to their transition area, they can get gas, they can get a bite to eat, they could do things. I can't do that. So all I'm concerned with was get to the transition in time. Sometimes I don't even have time to shut the bike down. I run into a gas station, I hot fuel it. I fuel it while it's running. I don't even take my leg off of it, and we go. Sometimes I don't even feel comfortable putting it full. Like I'll throw in a gallon in it and I'll go.
Wow.
Now, you rode an Indian 4 on this one, and this is the second great race that you've done, correct?
This is the second great race, and the Indian 4 has also done 2 chases.
Wow.
So we're estimating that it's got about 12,000 miles on it.
And that bike sounds like an absolute sewing machine when it goes by you, man. It is so beautiful.
No, can you
Yeah,
get any assistance while you're out on the road? Like, does Bob follow you? Does he just meet you at
No.
your checkpoints, or?
Not allowed on any roads with me, and no cell phones. The cell phone is for safety, so it is in my saddlebag, but it's not allowed to come out.
Okay.
So it's wrapped up in my saddlebag. If anything happens on the route and I have to stop to fix it, remember those seconds are all points. So if I've got to pull over to fix something, I've got to make up those seconds. Where a driver and a navigator would hack their stopwatch and they would know precisely how long they're pulled over. First, driving the motorcycle, watching out for cars, staying safe. Second, navigating, not going off course, not getting lost. And third, keeping track of time. So if I have to pull over to deal with something with the bike or something as simple as my shoe becoming untied or even overdressing and all of a sudden the sun comes up and I'm sweating and you don't have time to pull over and do that stuff. How you go out in the morning is pretty much how you're going to go through the day.
So,
It's a
and
great
one,
undertaking.
yeah, go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
It's crazy the undertaking that you go through. You know, just like you're saying with the time, just equaling your speed out with your stopwatch and making sure it's your head must be going in 50 different directions.
It's you get into the mode and you're just doing it. I think when your head starts to go crazy is when you're off of the race and when it's time to come home and relax. That's when everything unravels and you.
So I see from one of the pictures here, there's a scene that's reminiscent of the parking lots from Chase or Cannonball. Is that something like night times filled with people fixing motorcycles or?
No, it's not like that. These cars are all pretty solid. It's you have your cars and the guys that are working on them at night. That picture right there is a problem that I had at the start line. We had an issue. That's Bob on the left, and that's Bucky on the right, and we had an oil pressure issue. So now once my start was that morning at roughly 9:30. So we're trying to mad rush, figure out what's going on with the bike, why the oil pressure is running so high, and get me on the road. And by the time we got me going, it was 12:30. So I knew that I was out of the points. I just wanted to complete the miles. I just wanted to get the day under my belt.
Hey, real quick, in another picture here, Chris Simmons is on, and she says that you're her hero. And I just wanted to
Chris
pass
is
that
my
on.
hero. Chris is my hero. She's wonderful.
She is.
Hey,
right?
Chris. Yeah, she's awesome.
How long is the route? How many miles?
It's hard to tell because we're not in an odometer world. We're in a time
That's right.
world. Normally, you go out at roughly 9 o'clock and you get in at roughly 6 o'clock. I would estimate it's normally about 250 miles. But that's one of the tough things with judging your fuel. And there's not much we could do about it. I carry an extra gallon just in case. Again, John Kayson's not making these roads for motorcycles. He's making them for cars.
Yeah.
So nobody's really saying, hey, the motorcycles can only go 150 miles. John doesn't care about that. He cares about it's mostly a car event. And they talk to us about making separate rules for motorcycles. What should we do? And our feeling is we're coming to your event. We'll adjust. Let us. We don't want any separate rules. We don't want any separate points. We don't want any separate class. Give us a chance to compete with you guys, and we want to see how good we could do against the cars.
I agree with that. Go ahead, Mark.
How many motorcycles?
Two. Me and Lauren Hill with the. and there was approximately 145 cars at the start.
Wow.
You know, and I'm a big proponent of not no participation awards and no special consideration for body parts, gender, whatever. It is what it is. But almost in this instance, like when you talk about the difference between the racers and the cars and the fact that they can have a driver and a navigator, there should almost be some kind of class for somebody that has to do both of those jobs, no matter what the vehicle. Like if it was somebody that was in a car, that the navigator and the driver were the same person, it should be a different class.
We'll see where this goes. But right now, I like it as this event's been going on since the early 80s, I believe. I don't want to come in and change the rules. I want to see how well I do against your rules.
Oh, absolutely. I get it.
So where were your start and finish line this year?
Oh, where we physically started?
Yes.
Owensboro, Kentucky, home of Nikki Hayden.
Yes.
That we want to put up. And we finished in Gardner, Maine.
So that's not a short trip at all.
No.
2,300 hectares.
That's amazing. Now, what
Not a
do you...
short trip or an easy trip.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right?
That's a hell of a ride. You're
And
incredible.
you finished out of 146, you finished 47th, correct?
I didn't look where I finished. I'm not sure where I finished because the day that we had that oil pressure issue, I didn't come in. I didn't finish that day. So your points you're done.
Okay.
You're already maxed out on points. I was approximately mid 50s when that happened. So I was in about the upper 1/3.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Last year my first year I came in 4th for rookies. And again, I think I was in about the upper 1/3. So of course, we're not ending it like that. I got to come back and try again.
Right.
So we're discussing how we're going to do next year, whether we're going to use the same bike, whether we're going to get a little bit of an older bike. We're discussing what we're going to do.
Hey, so Rob Nussbaum is asking, how does this compare or contrast to the Cannonball event?
It's another league. It's so much more difficult. The Cannonball, a lot of guys ride together in a group, and you could have a group of 4 or 5 guys that, maybe one's a good mechanic, maybe one's a good navigator, maybe one's good with time, maybe one's good with, they all have something. It's more of a team event. You could do a lot with different people. With this, there's nobody helping you. There's nobody to help with navigation. There's nobody to help with the math of the time. If something breaks, you're on your own. No phone, no nothing. So it's a lot more difficult.
What do you think, if you had to pick one thing, what was the biggest challenge for you this year?
Well, for me, it was that oil pressure issue and not
Day 8.
not trouble yet. Day 8, one more day to go, and it was heartbreaking. I was crushed. You come home, you start on, thinking things a little bit more time, and I could more logically think about, the decisions I made and the way we went about it. But at the time, it crushes you. All you do is get back out there, and you want to be safe. And the other thing is my bike's a 1934 Indian. It's a rare original bike. So the other thing that you're thinking about is, I don't want anything to happen to me, and I don't want anything to happen to the bike. We're taking this bike on the road, 12,000 roughly miles total in its life since I've had it. about 2,500 miles on this ride, you're asking a lot of the bike, and I think it's a mutual respect. You gotta take care of the bike. The bike's got to take care of you a little bit, and you got to draw a line on how much you're going to push it.
Well, and that's the thing too that I think about. The amount of preparation. When somebody's getting ready for an event like this, you don't think about it's probably spans an entire year. Getting ready, getting the bike ready, getting everything ready with your time, your headspace, your physical condition, everything to go and do this. So when you talk about that one day, that one thing happening and how it crushes you, that's literally like the breaking point, right?
Well, I wanted to come back and have a great last day, and I did. I came back, and the last day was my best day. I didn't get an ace, but I think it was 2 seconds off on the one leg, 4 seconds off, 2 seconds off, 4 seconds off. And I think there was a low teens or something. Whatever it was, it makes it a lot easier to come back and have a good day and say, okay, let's get them next year. Let's come back and do this again. And with that, a whole year to prepare. Somebody had asked, I saw in the comments earlier, about the bike going into the museum. It is going back into the Sturgis Museum. Bob's already got it in the trailer. We're ready to go out there. We'll drop all the fluids out of it, and it'll go into the museum for a year.
Right on.
That's great.
Well, this is I talk so much about how impressed we are all the time watching you and all the things that you do. And when I'm going through the pictures in the pre-show, it makes me realize why these 3 pictures in a row that perfectly illustrate who you are. Going from this shot here to this shot here to this shot here. Like that's fantastic, man. Like could be right out of a history book, could be right out of another page of history, completely different part of the world, and there you are, comfortable as any of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bob took that last picture. I don't know.
I swiped it off your Facebook page.
So I did out the airport, out the window of the airport.
So for her,
I didn't even see that one. I don't know. That one's a pretty good one.
I had a better one.
And we didn't mention it in the show. If for Andrea's profession, she is a pilot. That's what she does when she's not racing.
When she's not piloting.
When she's not piloting a motorcycle. And like I said in the intro, I think she'll pretty much race anything on the drag strip or on the street. It's fantastic. And I know you don't take accolades very well, but you are such a role model for so many people, not just women, for so many people to get out there and do to be one of 2 motorcycles in a challenge like this is amazing.
Come in 1/3.
Right.
Come in top third. Like, dude, I said your competitiveness, just watching you talk about the last day wanting to come in. I never want to end up competing against you with anything. So if there's a race and it's me and you, I'm just walking away. Just letting you know.
When you say one of the things about the Great Race, a great program that they have is they have this program called the X Cup, and they have high school students that are in shop and they do they take donations and scholarships, and they run teams. There were 10 teams this year, and they let I think if the student's over 18, they could drive, but a student navigates, and they are allowed a student in the back, and they're competing with us.
And they built the cars.
They build the cars. They wrench on the cars at night. They do the navigating. They do the driving. They're all amazing, great kids. So one of the teams I got to spend some time with the last 2 years is an all-girl team, and they actually did a magazine story, they had a few pictures with us. One of the girls, Betty, and she's this amazing girl who's going to do great things in the industry, whether it's cars or motorcycles, but she's more in the cars. But this kid she's the whole package. She's doing metal work. She's doing welding. She's doing engine work. driving, and she's a pleasure to be around. She's a lot of fun. So there's teams like this and ways that if you don't want to drive, there are ways to help the youngsters out and help this race stay going and stay young.
Yeah, I know that's a consideration. Even they talk about there's been efforts within the Cannonball to get younger people involved, and it's a big proposition, man. I mean, you're not talking about just going and paying a $20 AMA fee to do something, you know.
No. But it's great. It's a high school program, so it's they go to school, they go to classes. They get a card donated most of the time, and then the kids keep it going. The kids they do all the work.
They raise money to pay the kids' way.
Yeah, I told them that.
You did.
So we have a question. Tiger was wondering if you know how many vehicles, if any, did not finish. Were there any DNFs?
There were definitely DNFs. I don't know. My guess is 10, but that's just a guess. That had a DNF within the day, kind of like I did.
They went on trailers and went home. Some guys did go home.
Yeah, I'll go with 10.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, come sit next to Andrea. We know her.
Yeah.
We know you're
Come
her
on.
biggest cheerleader.
Come on, we want to see Bob too. But Brian Clark just put a comment up. He said, "Lead and inspire. Andrea and Bob are such great humans. We're lucky they love motorcycles."
Amen.
So
Where'd my hair go?
So
Camera's doing weird things.
Bob is Andrea's husband and biggest cheerleader and supporter, and together they make such an amazing couple that you just are a joy to be around.
Hey, and he's no slouch to hang out with or
I
go racing with
know.
either. So
Yep, Bob's gonna actually have.
Hoka-hey, though.
what's that?
I didn't know you. I didn't know you had done the Hoka-hey, Chris. That's incredibly humbling. I thought Billy Radcliffe and I thought about doing the Hoka-hey quite a few years ago, and then once I looked into it, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing the Hoka-hey. That thing looks. You might never walk again with your back sleeping on the ground every night.
Hey, and you know what? Like, I'm not bragging on me. I'm just bragging on the event. That first year, anybody that was on that first year event, we had no idea. Like, I can remember whenever we got to the reservation in South Dakota, we thought that was the halfway point and that we were just going to, go up through Canada and go to Alaska. And it started going back south, and we went the whole way down the southern rim of the Grand Canyon, and like, it just seemed like that thing was never going to end, man, because we got directions every 1,000 miles, and you never knew where you were going, and nobody would talk about anything,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We looked into it, and that Billy and I were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do, and we met a couple of guys that had the Hoka-heys on the back of their coat, and I'm like, I need to get one of those Hoka-heys in the back of my coat. And then it's like, wait a second, you have to sleep on the ground? You're not allowed to use a hotel? And then you have to ride 10,000 miles in 10 days? Yeah, that's not happening.
There was
Chris had so much.
Go
Chris
ahead.
had so much practice at that was the easiest part of that whole thing.
There was a
That would
time.
be easy. Sleeping on the ground. Yeah, sleeping on the ground would be easier, I suppose, than riding 1,000 miles plus a day, but still.
Yeah.
There was a time where I came through the Ozark Mountains, and I hadn't slept in days. Like, it was days. We were having problems with the motorcycle right before I was leaving. It was days that I hadn't slept before the starting line, and after that, it was days again till I slept. And I was hallucinating coming through the Ozark Mountains in the middle of the night. And I remember getting to the other side of them, and I stopped somewhere. I was trying to catch my breath at a gas station, and these guys pulled up on a motorcycle, and I told them some crazy shit about, did you see all those lights flying around the air? And I'm talking all this crazy shit, and they were like, dude, you need to sit down right here for a little while and just rest. Yeah. And apparently I did. And I must have slept for about 4 hours, and all of a sudden, this cop is poking me in the ribs with a nightstick, and he says, hey, get up. And I'm like, typical biker thing. I'm like, yeah, cop, I got it. I'm leaving. And he goes, no. He said, listen, I came by you a couple times. I was going to let you sleep here. He said, but you're snoring so loud the neighbors are complaining. He said, you got to go around the back of the building.
That's funny. I can't remember the guy's name. He passed away this last year. We used to run into him at Daytona and Sturgis and all these places, and I got to kind of know him. And I was Facebook friends with him, And then he passed away. But I asked him that very question about the hallucinating, and I asked him that, and he said, no. I said, I think I would hallucinate if I tried to stay up that long and ride all those miles. And he goes, and that worries me. And he goes, no, everybody hallucinates. That's part of the trip.
It is, dude. When we got to Alaska, like, you don't realize this if you've never been to Alaska at that time of the year, in the middle of the year, the sun doesn't go down anymore. So not only are you racing against time and you're trying to stay awake and you're trying not to sleep and not to pull over, but the sun doesn't go down. So it goes from, it looks a little bit like morning to a little bit like afternoon to a little bit like morning, and all of a sudden you wake up holding somebody's motorcycle in your hands, and you're like, you know, many times I was dead asleep on the motorcycle.
Crazy. Hey, and I want to point out about the oil thing on Andrea's bike. That's on me.
That is not on you.
It was. After I found out how easy it was to adjust the oil pressure issue, I got in way too deep. And this is advice I think John was saying earlier about what's the difference with the Cannonball versus the this race.
It was Rob.
Rob did. Was time is even more important in this race than it is in the Cannonball. The Cannonball, the chase truck coming, it's an hour behind you or whatever it might be, and it shows up and they look at their watch and say you got some more time. This race being seconds, as soon as you dive into something mechanical, you panic right away. Like, oh, I got to get it done right away. And we went in way too deep. I had the gear just out of the front. I had the oil pump out. I had the whole thing apart. And it turned out in the end, it was like a 2-minute adjusting thing.
Wait, that sounds
after
like
I had it all
something
back
you do.
together. And I put it all back together, and somebody said, did you fix it? And I said, I didn't find anything wrong with it. Everything seemed fine. I put it all back together. And then I get a phone call from a guy in New York that I know, Mark Hill, at Fourth Coast Force, calls me and says, yeah, the adjusting screw lock nut probably backed off, and the adjusting screw needs 3/4 of a turn.
Oh my
Literally
goodness.
a second fix. And we were 3 hours deep into it, and Andrea pacing in the parking lot behind us with her clothes on, ready to race.
Oh,
She's
my
walking
God.
back and forth. And me and Bucky are laying under the bike. You know, we're laying in the parking lot in the dirt. We're trying to take this whole thing apart. And I wanted to say that she was ready to go, but unfortunately for me, I didn't know. Now I know. Next time I'd be able to adjust it in 10 seconds. But you learn something new every day. That was that day's lesson.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
dive in.
Like
Start with the
she
simple
had said
stuff.
before. Like
What's
she had
that?
said before, the importance between taking a chance of ruining such a beautiful antique bike to the fact of maybe gaining a few more steps in that race. That's a fine line that you have to walk, and to take that chance, I'm sure you would rather make sure that oil was right.
And Heather was talking about how competitive Andrea is. So now we're 3 hours late. It's a race of seconds. So we're in the parking lot. It's all back together. Oil pressure's good. Everything's running fine. And she says, I'm going to run the route. And I was like, Andrea, it makes no sense. You're 3 hours behind. It's a race of seconds. It's just you don't have a freaking chance today. You're not going to do anything. And she said, I've never not completed every mile in every race I've been in. So I'm going to run out and I'm going to do the miles.
Right on.
And I said, all right, you're going to get in at 9 o'clock tonight. You're supposed to get in at 6. Now you're 3 hours behind. You're going to get in at 9. She goes, no, I'm going to go extra fast. And as she said that, flying out of the parking lot like a maniac out onto the road. And Bucky and I are like picking up tools and everything else. And it was kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Poor kid, I hope she gets home okay. So she heads out. And then about 2 hours later, or an hour and 45 minutes later, Bucky and I are already split up. Bucky's in his truck heading off. He was Lauren's backup guy. And I'm back at the hotel loading up shit. And Andrea calls and says, I decided for the better of the bike that maybe I'd pull over, and why don't you come and pick me up? So we had to call the race organizer to ask permission for me to be on the track, if you will, and go pick her up. We called him. He said, yeah, you can go get her. Because they're not even equipped to have bikes.
Yeah.
All their trailers are trailers. They don't have wheel chock for bikes, even the tie downs. I have to give them the tie downs and the wheel stuff to put the bikes on the trailer. So he said, yeah, go pick her up. So I went out and picked her up. And then the bike was running fine. She wasn't sure if it was running fine. That was the thing. Now it got in her head, that maybe there was an oil pressure problem. Like you said, the rare 34.4.
Yeah.
She out on the road. She's like, did Bob really know what he was doing? Probably got on it to hold it together. Like, oh yeah, you're all good.
So,
Wait, there's a couple questions real quick. Brian Clock is firing questions so fast, I got to make sure I keep up. First question is, what's left? What else does a power couple of motorcycling want to do now or in 5 years? And then he says, growing up, did Andrea always have such intense focus to be a pilot, racer, extreme sports competitor, etc.?
No, I'm flighty. My head's everywhere. I wish I had focus. No, I'm all over the place. It takes me a lot to focus, but being athletic and being competitive, that's easy. One of the things I say about this event is when you're on the road and you're doing all this math in your head and you're doing all this, it is the most therapeutic, relaxing thing, because you can't think of anything else. You can't allow anything. If I think about, am I hungry? What am I having for dinner? Anything. I have to talk to myself, and you're talking in your helmet, and I have to say, stop, don't think about that. Think about a 30-mile-an-hour sign coming up ahead. At that 30-mile-an-hour sign, you're going to do 25. 35 you just keep talking in your head about what you're doing next. What's your next step?
Yeah.
So, no, I wish I had focus. I'm so flighty. I'm all over the place. What do we have planned next? Brian knows.
Come
Yeah,
on.
we have a few things planned next. I'm not going to go into. I'm going to go. We're going to try to do. We are going to try to go to Alaska.
Yes.
And we want to try to do the BDR stuff through Utah, Montana, Wyoming, or whatever. The off-road.
Nice.
The off-road stuff for maybe try to do a week-long trip. Brian knows about that, and maybe with a couple of the Hampshire guys might join us to go to do that dirt. Basically, ride out in the country of dirt roads, old school stuff, on some adventure bikes, and do a week in the mountains. So
The immediate though is 2 more weeks of work, and then the truck is already getting packed for Sturgis. We'll go out to Sturgis, and then we'll do the out and back ride. So we'll go out west to
Spearfish,
Sun
Spearfish.
Valley,
Yeah.
start in Spearfish, and then go out to Sun Valley.
McCall. We're going to go to McCall and then turn around and come back to Sun Valley and then back to Spearfish. So that'd be like a 10-day ride from Spearfish out back to Spearfish.
Nice.
And the Hampshire guys call it the ride out.
Yeah, the West
So we'll
Coast
meet
ride.
those guys coming on the West Coast
So
ride.
that'll be great to be out in the road and basically doing what we do, but I don't have to keep track of times and fuel. I can stop if I want. I could use the restroom. I can get gas. I can get a drink of water. That'll be a great trip. I'm looking forward to that. I know the Jessups will be on it. Janine will be with us. We're looking forward to that.
Right on, man.
No, we've heard the West Coast ride is a great ride.
Yeah. So we'll meet the West Coast guys as they're coming from the West Coast in McCall, Idaho, and then we'll turn around basically and start heading back with that group.
Right on.
So this gives you a couple extra days leaving out of Spearfish. Plus, we have to drive to Spearfish anyways to get the bike week with all the crap and trailer. So, and now this year that we have to all bring customs, the Hampshire guys have to show up with their custom bikes.
Dude, I'm actually the most excited about that. Like, thinking about all the motorcycles that are going to be parked at the Holiday Inn this year is going to be sick. Like, I'm seeing a lot of the bikes that guys are blowing the dust off of that you haven't seen for years. Some of our favorite motorcycles are going to be on stage again.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about that quite a bit today. We getting our bikes ready to go, and we were talking about how back in the first times we were hanging out there in 2007 at the Holiday Inn, and how it was like a bike show every night, just walking around looking at all the bikes, and then how it kind of changed since 2007. Especially with the influx of the baggers, and then the whole front of the hotel. Don't get me wrong, there were plenty of hot bikes there, but this is going to be off the hook this year with all the cool bikes that are going to be there. Everybody bringing out their customs. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be incredible.
So listen, I got to give you some props, man, because in the pre-show when we were talking to Andrew real quick, Heather was commenting on how great the coverage of her adventure was, and we find out that was
That was all you.
That was me. Yeah, I'm the. Yeah, I'm a media expert now.
Huh?
No, it was.
Chris is gonna suck
I don't know how to post on anything but Facebook. My
No,
son's
it was-
like, "Send me on Instagram." I'm like, I don't even know how to look at his shit on Instagram. He sends me stuff. I'm like, he goes, I sent it on Instagram. I'm like, I can't find it.
No,
I'm
but it
just
was
good at
good because we got to follow along and see how she was
Yeah.
doing, and I know like every day I was checking, like I was watching for those updates and waiting
nice
for
to
them.
know people to check in. That was awesome, and to have feedback and
So that was fantastic. And next year, if you need somebody to come and do media for you,
Oh, geez.
I
Here-
will
here
gladly
we go.
volunteer.
Here we go. See, I knew somewhere she had.
hired.
You and me in the car. We're
Yeah,
driving
you
together.
and I in the car.
Done.
I'll ride with you. I'll document everything. We'll write a story at the
Done.
end. I'm down. I volunteer for that gladly.
I'm down with that. I would love to pass that off to somebody.
So speaking of stories, I want you to share the story about this moment right here.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll let her tell that story.
It was raining so hard. You get to a point. The way that the Great Race also does is your finish line is typically anywhere from 15 minutes to Providence. This year it was like an hour and a half. So you have a ride to get to the end. So you're no longer on the clock. You can go any speed. You have a half an hour leeway, but it's the end of the race, and now you have to get to the finish line. So it's the end of the day. You have to get to the finish line, and it is just pouring. It's coming down so hard. And I had a helmet that I don't normally wear. I didn't click it down all the way, the visor. So it's raining as hard in my helmet as it is outside my helmet. So the rain is coming down my glasses. It's dripping off my nose and hitting my mouth. It's itching me. And it's just miserable. And then like the last 5 minutes, I start laughing at myself and I'm like, well, I'm wet. I'm in this. I'm almost done. And the MCs do such a great job in this event. They're at every lunch. They're at every finish. And his name's Scott, and he does such a great job of welcoming you in. And in the last few minutes, I'm like, well, I'm wet and miserable, and I'm almost done. I said, but man, Scott's been outside, and he's been in this rain, and he's going to be introducing everybody in, and he's right about where the filmer is. They might be under that tent.
Yeah.
And as I went, I looked to the left, and I look at him, and he's under the tent, and I said, no. I said, no way. No, he's on the left side. Side. I said, no way. And I point to him and I go, you're coming out here. I go, you got out here. And he just laughs. And there's a great picture of him coming out to me. And he goes, he's in shorts and a t-shirt. And he just comes out and he gives me a hug. And it was very funny. It was a great moment. It was one of my highlights. He's a great guy. He does a great job of, after a tough 9 hours on the road, to come in, and he's always with a smile and great things to say, and it's a great end to the day. I always look forward to it. It gives you that extra energy boost in the last couple minutes to finish up.
There's one other funny story with that.
Oh, Bob has something to say.
Bob's
Hold
back.
on, let me slide in.
Somebody put on the phone, said, get Bob off the screen. Texted Andrea. There's another funny story with that.
But he's going to ignore that.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
ignore
Bob.
that, yeah, because I got to tell this funny story. So Andrea pulls in, that rain's pouring down like that. I'm standing I'm standing with Dakota Dawn, who's going to be racing at Bonneville in a couple of weeks. Well, we're at Sturgis. He's going to be trying to go 300 miles an hour at Bonneville. So I'm standing with him. The rain comes. It's a nice day. All of a sudden, Andrea's about 10 minutes out. The rain starts pouring down like you saw. She pulls in through the rainstorm. The rain goes, and then she parks, and then the rain stops. And a Jolly, I don't know if you guys know that, the little car, it's got 13-inch wheels.
Yeah.
It has little tassels hang off the roof.
Looks like a golf
It has
cart.
no windows,
Yeah.
nothing. It's a glorified golf cart. So the Jolly pulls in. He's about an hour behind Andrea because they come in 1 minute intervals. 60 minutes later, he pulls in, and I go over and talk to him, and I said, oh, it must have sucked today for you guys in this rain with this stupid car. I didn't say stupid car. So he says, he goes, No, it never rained on us. He goes, we had a beautiful day. The roads were wet, but we never saw any rain. Andrea, it rained. The cloud followed her the entire day.
Oh my
7 hours,
God.
8 hours on the road. The cloud was going northeast, and that's the route. He was an hour back, no rain. Andrea's in the rain, just like you saw, torrential downpour the whole day. I said, how was the day? She had no rain gear on, just top. And she didn't get a chance to put her pants on because, like you say, that seconds, every second counts. So she didn't put her rain pants on or her rain boots. She's soaking wet. She says, no, it rained the entire day on me. The jolly. Never saw any rain.
So one of the things from lunch, it looked like it was clouding up. So at lunchtime, I put on my jacket and I said, I don't know. We might get rain, we might not. And so I put on the jacket. And as I was riding to the official start, you have official starts, transition zones, it started coming down. So now another thing with the Henderson is the spark plugs are on my right. They're on my right leg, so the right side of the engine. So if I stand, the spark plugs are on my inner knee. They touch it. And there's also metal on the throttle. So I'm getting major zaps. I'm like, whoa, that was a good one. That'll wake me up. I'm good for 15 minutes there. That hurt. And it's pretty much every time I put my right foot down, it'll brush that spark plug and my hands on it. Boom! Again. So I'm getting zapped the whole day. That was a fun part of it. But
my goodness.
That hurt. Oh, that hurt. I'm okay. That's good. We're in this. So you have to look forward to.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, listen, I wanna thank you for coming on and sharing this part of your adventure. But people were on here just raving about you and actually suggesting that you two write a book together about this stuff. And we for sure that
maybe a pop-up.
It'd be a pop-up.
the next time you're going on an adventure, we want to have you. As much as you want to come and share with us, we'd love to have you. But for everybody that wants to know what's going on, make sure you head over to the Facebook page. Heather will put the link up. This was the page to go to where you could follow along with this adventure. When we know what's up next for these two, we'll definitely post it here as well.
And Heather, we're going to hold you to this. You want to come along with us next year?
I would love to come along and document it without a doubt. And I think it's at a time of year that we can do that. I would absolutely be honored.
Listen, if you get the chance,
guys actually have a time of year you can do something like that.
Oh, listen.
I will make it.
Yeah,
I will make it happen.
For some,
for what days you can. If you want to do 2 or 3 days, if you want to do the whole thing.
Nope, I can prep.
And you could see how chaotic the mornings are the most stressful because I have the 30 minutes or I even do it less. I have 10 to 15 minutes to get every note I want to make on that scroll. And then I hand it off to Bob. Bob puts it in the thing and then I can't touch it again. So then I just go out and I do a walk around the bike, make sure everything visibly is as tight as it could be. And we go. So I get a little stressed in the morning. I'm a little cranky.
I bet.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
I bet. Oh, well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on with us. I know this was last minute and we're racing trying to get you before, get you after. So, we have a chance to share this with everybody, but thank you both for making the time for it.
Well, I'm looking forward to next year. It's another reason to look forward to next year. And I can't wait to see you guys out in Sturgis.
I know, a couple weeks.
Looking forward to spending time with you.
Yeah, for sure. I love seeing you guys. I can't wait. And I am going to make it happen next year. I guarantee it.
Oh. All right. Yeah, we're going from Michigan. Is it Michigan to South Carolina?
It's Michigan, to somewhere in South Carolina, and it's on the page. It's been posted. I'll post it on our page again, but it's going to be great. I mean, anytime you're in the what are those? The Appalachians?
Yeah, we'll be going through that.
Those mountains are awesome.
Yeah.
That North Carolina, Tennessee area. Those are the most.
Those are the Smokies.
Yeah, the Smokies. Yep. They're beautiful. So going to have a lot of tricks and a lot of turns and I'm expecting it to be a difficult route.
Right on.
Awesome.
All right, well, we'll see you guys shortly. See you in Sturgis.
Be safe.
See you in Sturgis.
All right, guys. Hey, everybody, you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. Glad to have you along with us. Killer interview tonight. Make sure you follow along with them and see what adventures come up next. I can't.
She's my hero.
Dude,
like, she
seriously,
is just,
going through those pictures?
Dude.
How could you keep up?
The best part is she's so humble and kind and fun and funny. And like she's the person that you're like, I want my kid to be like that. She's that person.
Yep.
So and Bob's right there too. Got to give kudos to Bob.
Yes, you do. Hey, listen, I want to remind you guys of something real quick. If you're not aware of this, we are involved in a little program here for Mills on Wheels. Right now, Brandon Hoffman with Logic Motorcycles is building this incredible custom bike donated by a dear friend of the program who we'll leave nameless right at the moment. But building this incredible custom motorcycle with parts by all of the people listed there. You know, Doug's Polishing, Bagger Nation, Fueling, NAMS, Clockworks. Everybody throwing parts at this. Dynojet, Steve's Garage. Everybody's putting something in, and this is going to be an incredible bike. You can actually get tickets for this right now.
Mm-hmm. Cool,
and it's
$20.
going to go through the whole way till Smokeout, where we're going to pull a winner. Someone's going to leave with this incredible bike. But more importantly, we're going to help a bunch of seniors who struggle with food insecurities not have to make a choice between their prescriptions and their meal.
Yep. You do not have to be present to win. $20 gets you a chance. So check it out.
So listen, we're going to take a look at a cool feature bike. When we come back on the other side, we're going to do events. Then we're going to cut you guys loose. Thanks for staying with us for the long haul tonight. I know this was a long one, but absolutely worth it to hear that story. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
My name's Anthony Reboudo. I'm from Holiday, Florida. The motorcycle I bought today is a 1949 Panhead EL, 61 cubic inch. So it's easy to stay under the speed limit with that. It's got a Panhead frame, 48 to 51, shovel head transmission, 4-speed, Wassel gas tank, homemade fender, replica Springer front end, and basically I just wanted something unique, you know, cool little chopper. But you know, me and my friends build them, we ride them. You know, this one looks good still because it's only got about 1,000 miles on it, but we put the miles on, have a lot of fun with them. Being broke, you kind of do everything yourself, so I had to paint myself. I did my own upholstery, built the wheels, pretty much anything I could do to save money, you know. Cops love that. I can see my teeth in it and it keeps me legal. The paint's House of Color candy blue with a green flake underneath it. It was kind of a custom mix by a company in Colorado, I think. I just found it on their website and ordered some of it. It didn't look like the picture when I was done, but I'm happy with the way it looks. All the flames, yeah, wasted a lot of tape trying to lay those things out, but at my house I got a 2-car garage, and I just a tinkerer, man, you know. I'm single, so I got time and I don't have to go to a bunch of family stuff. The garage is, it's a 2-car garage. It's kind of split between an actual garage with other bikes, and then the other half's a workshop. I got just a motorcycle lift in there. For machines, I have like a little mini lathe to do some of the machine work, welder, drill press, and a whole bunch of hand tools. You know, it's probably the same shit everybody else has. You know, nothing exotic. Yeah, my dad was a mechanic when I was growing up, so we were always out there, me and my brother, helping with fixing the lawnmower or yard equipment or doing our own oil changes. Just, it was always in our blood, man. I got my motorcycle endorsement in Ohio. I'm from Cleveland originally. Right when I turned 18 years old, it was like, that's what I wanted to do. Bought a Honda CB750, and then after that, it was Harley, you know. I'm Anthony Reboudo from Holiday, Florida, and I'm a Dennis Kirk garage builder. Happy to be here, man.
Riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape. There's a flow to the road you share, so go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Hey, it's Billy from Twisted Tea. We're live in Sturgis, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Rushing in and past the 120 line, but it doesn't matter because it's a great show tonight. This weekend, man, is going to be crazy, right? Too much stuff going on to even get to it all, and we're trying like hell. But one of the things that we want to point out first and foremost, it's close to us here, so we can point this out and say we're doing the local thing. The Sufu Moto Fest going on July 12th through the 14th. Motorcycle shows all through the weekend, free concerts.
All sorts of stuff. Free. That's at J&L Harley Davidson in Sioux Falls.
I didn't do your event thing, did I?
No.
This is the event brought to you by Heather. Actually,
by Cyclefish.
By Cyclefish.
I'm
That's
super
right.
excited to be
Our
working
new
with
sponsor
Cyclefish.
for the event, Cyclefish. If you want up to the minute events around the country for your motorcycle enjoyment, make sure you head over to Cyclefish.
Yep, it covers everything from big rallies, small rallies, bars, you name it. If you're looking for something to do with your motorcycle, you can probably find it there.
Something to do with your motorcycle.
Other than ride it. Someplace to go with your motorcycle. How's that?
Yeah, right? Somebody please move my motorcycle for me. Because they're kind of full of water right now.
Yeah.
Okay, up next.
Boats? Did you say we needed a bigger boat?
Yeah. Rob Doer says, the great guys at JL. Absolutely.
Awesome.
We should have said the Sufu Moto Fest, J&O Harley Davidson.
I did say that. You just weren't listening, Linda.
Linda, this is the other big thing going on, and this is where we will be.
Yes.
We're actually giving away, we should say that we're giving away an award at the Sufu Motor Fest. Will be the Best of Show actually gets featured on this program and in Cycle Source magazine. But
You know, I think I'm going to give away some smokeout tickets.
Yeah, okay.
At the Garage Build show. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Come see me. Maybe I'll get you some tickets.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
I give you the run of the show, and this is what you do.
I wasn't watching your screen. All right. So we are going to be at the Dennis Kirk Garage Builds show at the Running Aces Casino on July 13th. Come see us. Come hang out with us. This is an inaugural event, hopefully one of many that they host there.
We are looking for all the garage builders.
Yes.
All the garage builders. Come hang out with us at Running Aces. We're going to be in town raising hell, looking to give out some cool prizes.
I know. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a super rad weekend. Kind of bummed we're not going to be in Sioux Falls, but I'm glad we're going to be in Running Aces. I Fuel Cleveland, July 27th and 28th, 2024 at Hale Farm. We won't be there, but our man on the street, Brandon, will be there, and our Stade. He'll be there with some smoke out stuff and some magazine stuff. Make sure you go visit him and tell him we sent you. Vintage Soul Show. I have to say that one's slow. July 27th at Doherty's Tavern, put on by our good friend Teach Bass, Vintage Cycle Edition. Go check that out, July 27th. We will be at the Harley-Davidson Homecoming, July 25th and 28th, where we're going to see Cypress Hill.
There you go.
Nice.
Jelly Roll Hardy, Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're going to be riding some motorcycles and checking out all the festivities there. Hopefully we'll see you there. See if you can catch up with us.
Ooh, Sturgis.
Sturgis pre-part. Oh, how are we different?
Because you changed some stuff after I loaded the show.
Oh,
That's
the
how,
inaugural cycle showcase at Sturgis, hosted at the Steel Pony Campground. That's going to be an amazing event that I'm very much looking forward to checking out. Randy always does a stellar job. Ooh, we're going to do a kickoff party at the Cycle Showcase Sturgis Edition on Sunday, August 4th. Starts at 7 o'clock, media only, and then open to the general public for about an hour after that. The 18th annual Cycle Source Custom Bike Show at the Iron Horse Saloon on Sunday, August 4th. Registration starts at 11 a.m. Awards are at 4. Best of Show wins a killer roller by Paco Parts and Black Bike Wheels. 30 classes, a ton of prizes and trophies. Free to enter. Hope to see you there.
The gun went off before the thing changed. It's that kind of night.
Vintage Motorcycle Day. This is a great day in Sturgis at the Iron Horse Saloon. If you like old iron, this is where you're going to want to be. You can preferred parking for all AMCA card-carrying members that come in on an antique, vintage, or classic motorcycle. If you have your card on you and you can show it to me, I'm going to give you a free lunch.
There you go. Old-time field games right there in the middle of the compound.
Yep, we can thank the Black Hills chapter for helping out with that show. Also on Monday, this makes it a tough day. Two killer shows in one day. Full Throttle Saloon Old School Chopper Show, Monday at Full Throttle Saloon, all day. It's free.
Professional Monkey wants to go back to the pre-party. Look, see how I did that? It's at the Steel Pony, the campground of the Iron Horse, where the swimming pools are. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're going to have our party where the swimming pools are.
It's actually going to be in the Cycle Showcase Gallery.
Yep. Back to that. Where are we?
Radar said, tell me when to shut up, Heather. He said, I need tickets. I just filled up my propane tank and not sure if I can smash together enough coins for entry fee. Radar, we got you, man.
We got you.
Jason Sims in the house. What's up, buddy?
Irma Good. 18th annual Run to the Line. We're going to ride through Van Acker Canyon with the Cycle Source crew, and the legendary Michael Lichter will be taking photographs that day. You can sign up, register, get a free sack lunch courtesy of the Vale Country Community Church.
There you go. You put that together perfectly.
I did. And then you can ride out with us through the canyon and maybe get an ice cream.
Professional Monkey. Oh, where I'm freaking sleeping.
There you go, Monkey. You'll be able to stumble home at a reasonable pace. Black Hills Boogie.
What?
Disco party and chopper show again at the Steel Pony Campground.
What the hell? Stop saying that.
Poolside
What the
on
hell?
Thursday,
Stop
August. Stop it.
What the hell?
Stop saying
Christopher.
What the hell?
Oh, Thursday, August 8th. Do you know what that is, too?
What?
What's August 8th?
Our anniversary.
Yay!
Narrowly escaped that one.
So bring your cool chopper, park it poolside, and come get your groove on. Friday, August 9th, the legendary mini bike drag races and
Motorcycle Olympics.
Biker Olympics. Every contest wins $100, a medal, and overall winner gets a killer championship belt.
Can I get an amen?
Smokeout, September 5th through 8th, 2024 at Rowan County Fairgrounds. Be there or be square.
Born free, y'all.
Born Free, October 17th through 20th, 2024 at the Yellow Rose Canyon.
This is cool.
You didn't refresh your screen. That's why we're screwed up. John Power Memorial Race, Davenport, Iowa, Friday, August 30th. It's just dang cool. You got to go. It's that simple. Check it out.
This is the deal.
Okay, you got this one.
So the Sturgis pre-party, actually the Palace City pre-party here in Mitchell, South Dakota. We've been a part of this show for the last couple years, but we are stepping it up. The custom bike show, free to enter, tons and tons of classes. We're going to put a bunch of killer prizes together. Billy from Twisted Tea is coming in with us to amp up the prize bags, and there's even talk of a couple bucks on the line. So keep watching for that. But this is, I'm asking all of our friends to come out and help us make this thing bigger than it has been before, so we can say that we're proud to be Mitchell locals and putting our work in. Putting the work in, doing the local thing.
We're doing the work. Rudy, yes, disco party, Thursday, August 8th, poolside Steel Pony. Jason Sims, the Biker Olympics are at the Iron Horse Saloon on Friday. You should totally be there. I fully expect to see your leisure suit at the disco party this year. I think you left me hanging last year.
Nobody rocks a leisure suit like Jason Sims.
Dude, so
I'm just
good.
saying. Just saying. Except
good.
Mark when he was the cutout. That was still your best year at
Sturgis. You
Sturgis.
got to do. I hate to make people jealous, but when you got it, you got it. You know.
Oh shit!
What a great show tonight. Andrea is so awesome. Total fangirl.
What do you think, Mark?
She's pretty cool.
What years?
She was painfully competitive.
Right.
That's fantastic. Like she's definitely got it going on. No questions asked.
So, what year is that Impala?
Which one? What Impala?
Your Impala.
62.
62. So it's eligible. You could get that thing finished and actually go on the Great Race. I could be your co-pilot.
We could do that.
See?
That would be, well, chop. What are you waiting for?
Okay. Some of us have jobs.
Stop saying that.
You can make time, Mark. That would be worth it. It would be worth it for you to do that. I think it would be an amazing thing for you.
Off.
Yeah.
No shit.
We'll just quit. I'll come visit and get you fired. How's that?
Oh, wouldn't that? I can do a good enough job for getting myself fired. Trust me.
Heather's not good at getting people fired.
I keep trying to get fired. It's not working.
No. She says things like this.
Son of a biscuit eater.
She can't even swear right, Mark. Anyway, listen, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. This was Shop Talk. If this was your first time watching,
What the hell?
Stop saying that.
what the hell? We do this every Sunday night through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. They leave the back door open for us. We run in, we do the show before anybody can catch up with us, and then we split.
Next weekend, we have Chelsea from Ride Sober joining us.
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to talking to her. She's got quite the movement going on, and I think it's going to be a great show.
So we're looking for killer bikes at the Sufu.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now.
It's the Sufu Moto Fest. And for your chance to get a feature in the Cycle Source
I just had a
magazine.
Joni Carson flashback.
Yeah, right. And also looking for all of our garage builders to
Yes.
be up in Minnesota with us,
Running
hanging
Aces
out.
Casino,
Running Aces.
Saturday, be there.
Mark, start driving now.
Oh, sweet. Here we go again.
All right, man. Listen, thanks again for hanging out with us. Thanks for all of our sponsors for helping make Shop Talk happen. We will see you next week when we have another 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Until then, get out and do something with your motorcycle. We'll be back here on Sunday, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Keep on riding, Felicia.